Hello to everyone. You are entering To Lose Crew MMA prediction on UFC 267.
Teixeira versus Blachowicz.
I'm Lewis. This is
Lewis.
And of course, you guys already know why this is To Lose Crew. We are going to ask for a quick favor before we get into the prediction on this card. Please hit a subscribe button on the bottom. If you don't want to subscribe yet and you want to see what we're about, that's fine with us. Please hit a like button. Or, for some reason, if you dislike us and you say, oh man, these guys are the worst people in the world, hit a dislike button. Or just leave us a comment on how we can improve this channel. But we are brand new. We're two guys from New York City, two regular guys that just love MMA, love the UFC. And listen, we can't promise you to be correct on every fight.
We're probably going to be wrong a lot of the time.
We're probably going to be wrong a lot of the times, but we are going to promise you some good insight, some good background information, and we are going to put our love and effort into every single video that we do. All right, so let's get into it, right? We have the Brazilian Pitbull versus Jan Blachowicz. Let's start it off right here and right there. These guys are some crafty veterans. This isn't like a rookie, a new up-and-comer that doesn't deserve a title shot versus a champion that just skipped everyone in the rankings. Both of these guys have earned every single win throughout their, before their pro careers, up until their pro careers, up until the UFC. These men have earned every little win. We have Teixeira, 76 inch reach versus Blachowicz, where it's a 78-inch reach. Both men standing at 6 feet 2 inches. They're both old men. They're both old guys.
Well, I mean, Teixeira a little bit longer in the tooth, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're both pretty old. But listen, these men...
I mean, but you know what? For Teixeira, I think he's getting his second crack at the title.
Yeah.
I think he's getting his second crack at the title. And for him to put together just, this kind of little run that he's been on is just, amazing to see, especially for a guy at his age. And again, Teixeira is a crafty guy. And he solid boxing, people don't really talk about his boxing.
Good enough. Good enough.
His last loss was to, the now Bellator title challenger. And,
probably going to win that title, honestly. I don't see him losing.
But, his last loss was to Corey Anderson, now Bellator fame. And he's just put together a nice little run. And, Carl Robertson, triangle choke, Ian Gutalaba, rear naked choke, and it goes to show you he's really good on the ground. And if he gets you to the ground, it's going to be a bad day in the office for you. But he's especially his last two, and 2 title challengers.
Listen,
2 title challengers. He's taken out.
I see why anyone, including Big Lou, would go for Glover Teixeira. I see it.
If you're a betting man and you like underdogs, like this guy right here, I'm telling you, Teixeira can put it. I think Teixeira has the tools to get it done.
The reason I disagree, and I continue, listen, this entire card, I've literally picked every favorite. And I promise you guys, it's not because I just want to pick the favorite and take the easy way out. I don't see it happening, and I'm going to break down why right now. The last two, Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith looked great. He looked like a trained assassin against Spann his last fight. But we know that Jan Blachowicz is not Ryan Spann. We just know that he's not. They're not even on the same level. It's not even close. Anthony Smith, pissed off Anthony Smith is one of the most dangerous fighters you could find in the UFC. Forget the weight division, forget the reach or the height. But for some reason, pissed off Anthony Smith, did not face Glover Teixeira. It was just a different Anthony Smith. He went in there and he was not he was Lionheart because this man got his teeth smashed out. His front teeth were all indented. This man had to go to a professional dentist, and I mean, every dentist is a professional, but what had to be one of the best dentists because this man's teeth were so smashed and it was disgusting to even look at. For those that want to find it, go on to the Instagram socials, go on to Twitter, go all over Google it up, Anthony Smith teeth, and you're going to see how disgusting it was. My problem with picking Teixeira is not with Teixeira's lack of skills because he doesn't really have many. His boxing is strong enough, solid enough to get into the clinch, to take his opponent down, and then get rear naked chokes, right? He might not be like a T-City Brian Ortega on his grappling skills, but he's
very good jiu-jitsu base.
But this man is up there in his ground game. The reason I choose Blachowicz over Teixeira is because I don't believe it's even going to get to the ground, and if it does get to the ground for some odd reason, I don't believe it's going to stay on the ground. Blachowicz made Adesanya look like he didn't even belong in the UFC. Now, some people might say, "Oh, what are you stupid?"
The commentary team was a little biased towards Adesanya.
They were biased, but some people might say, what are you, stupid? Adesanya is one of the best of the best. This man is a champion. And are you ignoring the fact that there was a big size difference? It's not my decision, and it's not my fault that Adesanya came in light and didn't want to tack on some weight, right? But if you just make it independent of the weight and the height and the size, Adesanya is one of the most skilled MMA fighters in the entire UFC. And John was able to outstrike him, outpoint him. He took him down. He was able to neutralize him, stop him on what he's good at. And even though not many wrestlers / grapplers are facing Blachowicz, I still do not believe that Blachowicz is going to be affected by Teixeira because Teixeira's going to have to get into the inside. And one thing that we know is that Reyes was able to outpoint and outstrike John Jones for a long time because of his octagon movement, because of how good he is in the rotation of the octagon. And what did John do versus Dominic Reyes? He beat him at his own game. He neutralized him by outpointing him, by hitting him with some good jabs, with some good hooks. He was able to rotate the cage, and Reyes did not look like he was in sync for any of those first minute and 45 seconds of that round. The first 2 minutes of round one, and then the first 30 seconds of round two, Reyes looked like he was completely lost. This man didn't even know how to land the shot. He didn't even look like Dominic Reyes, the same Reyes that we knew to pretty much beat John Jones. This is the reason why I think Blachowicz gets the win and outpoints. And listen, he might even get like a crazy leg kick or knockout finish. I wouldn't even put it past him.
I was will say there's those body kicks that John likes to throw with Polish power. Again, going back to the Dominic Reyes, if you just look at Dominic Reyes' stomach, his ribs, you'll see what we're talking about. But but like I said, both are veterans. They've been in the game for a while, and Glover Teixeira has put a nice little streak together, and he's in there. He took out two former title challengers in Thiago Santos, and that fight was a very close one with Jones as well, and. Glover Teixeira is just one of those guys that, kind of knows how to neutralize, somebody else's game plan. And he just, smothers you and gets on the inside, and he gets you to the ground. And, that's kind of his thing. So I do think that, Glover is going to come in there. He's going to be pushing that pace. He's going to be coming forward. And it's up to him to, get in on the inside and, muck it up a little bit and try to secure those takedowns. And I do think that's where, the chance of a finish on Teixeira's end comes into play. He could muck it up a bit, get that takedown, and, finish with a submission as he's been, known to do in his last couple fights. So it definitely an interesting fight, and it's just two very, very good veterans in the number one and number two. It's I can't tell you how excited I am for this fight. I'm a big fan of both of these gentlemen, but I've always loved Glover Teixeira, and it's just really nice to see him get his shot again.
Yeah, and definitely it's great to see both of these guys at the top of their division. We have one man that is a champion, one man that is the challenger once again. And no matter who wins this fight, many MMA/UFC fans are going to be ecstatic, excited, and happy for any of the men that win. But let's be honest, it's probably going to be a very, very close one, closer than the odds suggest here at 225 for Teixeira, minus 275 for Blachowicz. I myself have Blachowicz winning by points or maybe a very, very late knockout.
I gotta go with the underdog again. I feel like this is gonna be one of those cards where you're gonna have a lot of underdogs get the upset, and I just think that Teixeira, with that little bit of pressure, that pace that he pushes, because if you've seen Teixeira fight, that man don't get tired, and
he doesn't,
and especially for a guy his age, he's been in the UFC, he's been in there with some of the best, and you know what, I do think he gets it done, and you could possibly be looking at a fifth round stoppage if this goes all 5 rounds, and I think Teixeira can get that done.
All right, so for myself, I'm going with Blachowicz. Big Lou going with
Teixeira.
Glover Teixeira. It has been good. Please hit a subscribe button to show support for us, a like button, or some comments in the comment section. For us, we are Two Lose Crew. Until next time.
And see you again.